Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, guys. My name is Shawn and I welcome you back to the Mango Grow for your daily analysis video. I have the beautiful, gorgeous Krisha with me over here. Krisha, say hi.
And what's up, you guys? Welcome to the Mango Grove.
Yes, sirree. Welcome indeed. It's a beautiful, beautiful weekend morning, and the charts are looking beautiful too. We are going to be doing something a little bit different today, Krisha. This is what we're going to be doing. We are going to be giving you guys an update on a few coins that we have been taking a position in as well. So, Krisha, what are your initial thoughts on the market?
It's freaking looking absolutely phenomenal. I mean, this is what everyone was waiting for, right? The alts to actually start running. And what's really cool about this entire situation now is that the alts aren't just running, Shawn, against USD. They're running against Bitcoin as well. And that's what's making this entire thing extremely exciting right now. So, yeah, eyes on the alts. Yup.
Indeed, eyes on the alts. So this is what we're going to be doing today, guys. We're first going to be covering DOT, then we're going to be giving you guys an update on UNI and then on LTC, right? If we do have time, we'll go ahead and take a look at the theme and Chainlink as well, but we might be chewing off more than we can actually swallow. Is that the phrase? I am actually either way.
I think that is.
That is right. Okay, so yeah, let's go ahead and get started. So this video is going to be beneficial for all of you guys who are watching on YouTube, but more so for those of you who are in the seed program, because these are the positions that we were discussing in the seed plays channel, right? I'm going to go ahead and pull up my Discord. I think I have it up. I think you guys can see it. So the first one I'm going to be starting with is the trade that we took just yesterday, the DOT USDT trade, right? And this one I was eyeing on ever since, well, the live streams, right? The live streams have been beneficial for us too over here at the Mango team, not just you guys watching on YouTube. So thank you, all of you, because I would have missed this trade if it wasn't for you guys insisting, hey, Shawn, go ahead and check out DOT. And yeah, we'll go ahead and talk about that. But essentially, yesterday, we spotted a really, really easy trade on this one. And the easy trade came from the fact that it was easy to exit the trade if we were wrong, right? So I'm going to go ahead and zoom in over here. Essentially, I was accumulating my position along the Mango dynamic and then looking for a break above this level over here, which is where I added to my position. Now, here's the thing, the move panned out way faster than we expected, so let's go ahead and take a look at it. I'm going to minimize my Discord and go back on over to my chart. So Krisha, I'm looking currently at the daily time frame, even though I took my trade on the 4-hour time frame, and I'll explain my mindset as to why, but I just want you to I want to ensure that you're on the same time frame as I am.
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
right here on daily.
So cool. So I got extremely bullish on DOT, right? And you guys saw my reaction on live stream actually when we saw this candle right here on the 13th of Jan, right? This bullish candle that did a few interesting things. So I'm going to go ahead, Krisha, and put a horizontal right at the candle closes at around $8.25.
Okay.
Now, do you see the red candle that went all the way down, that wicked all the way down to around $7.13?
Yes, I do.
Okay,
Yeah.
so that was a brutal candle that did a few things. Firstly, it took out the major low from the 2nd of Jan, right? Do you see that? Right,
Yeah.
taking out that low was I'm pretty sure a lot of people exited their positions just based off that. Hey, perhaps if it was the right trade setup, I would have exited my trend trade position if DOT had done that. I know I would have, right? So that stuck in my head. I'm like, wait a minute. We took out those lows over there. A lot of people probably exited, but then look at how we closed the day. So if you were trading this on the daily time frame, you would have been fine, right? You would have been still in your trade. But if you were trading this on the lower time frames, even the 12-hour, you would have likely gotten shook out of this position. So we closed 2 daily candles above that level at $8.20, and the next candle reacted with such a bullish candle. Not only did we remake everything, but we took out the highs and closed above the highest candle close of $10.20, which is psychological resistance.
Yeah.
That was bullish,
Yes.
and that's when I got interested because I was like, all right, this is the kind of trade where you just have to look for a position. But the big move on the higher time frame has already happened, right? This already had its impulsive move on the higher time frames. Usually, when you see something like this, you end up trending now on the lower time frames. So that's where now, Krisha, I'm going to switch on over to the 4-hour time frame, right?
Okay.
And I'm going to turn on the Mango Dynamic. By the way, guys, the Mango Dynamic is going to be available, and we didn't want to do any complicated mess with having two different pricing, but the same pricings for seedlings as well as those of you watching at home. But at the same time, we do want to reward seedlings for their loyalty. So there will be a discount coupon available for all seedlings that we will link in the private seed chat. So keep an eye out for that. Okay, so on over here, I kept it very simple, Krisha. All I did was accumulate a position along the Mango Dynamic. Now, yes, we did come down lower, but as long as we were holding the Mango Dynamic, I was willing to be buying off that level over here. So those of you who did get this buy over here at around $11.80, great, because you almost 2x your position ever since then. Then I was looking for candle close highs to be made, and we did that, right? A really clean close, Krisha, above $14.50. That it was beautiful. The chart not only had that massive daily candle move that closed above 10, but now it put in almost the perfect consolidation and bull flag breakout, taking us where, Krisha? To our next psychological resistance at around $20. Now you can see that it kind of got front run a little bit. We got to around $19.50, and this is to be expected. I did take partial profits off this level over here, and now I'll be watching to decide whether I want to take more profits and reposition lower down, or just hold on to the rest of my trade and then reposition down lower. So let's go ahead and talk about what I'm seeing now, Krisha, on the charts over here, as to whether or not we are going to see continuation. But before I actually do that, let me get your thoughts, because I've just been going around. I'm just excited, Krisha. I do apologize. I've been rambling. What are your thoughts thus far on the daily as well as the 4-hour time frames?
I mean, like if you're looking at the daily time frame, right, on USDT, you'll notice that this is extremely bullish. Okay, I feel like that major break really came to us at $10.96, somewhere around that. That was the major break that I was looking for. But I see what
Yes.
you're looking at in terms of that candle of 13th Jan. Now, and this, guys, by the way, is a good sort of lesson in that sometimes you know what, you're going to get kicked out of your trades.
Yep.
And the chart may take a turn very, very fast, the underlying asset, but it is your duty to get back in if things do change. Okay, you hit that reset button and you get back in if you must. Now, what happened here? I thought that that $10.96, $11 was actually pretty damn critical. And as soon as we broke that to the upside and we took out those highs that we put in from say 3rd of Jan all the way to 7th of Jan, it was confirmed. That was confirmation right there. So right now, I mean, we're seeing this follow through to the upside, right? So, and I like your points of psychological resistance, Shawn. So we actually got up to that $20 mark. And I mean, right now, I mean, we're trending on something much lower. So when I look at the 4-hour time frame, I am looking at this as a super, super bullish trend. So what
Yes.
I'll be looking for, at least at in the short term, is for price. Even if we do have this mini sort of pullback right now that we're getting on the 4-hour time frame, I'll be looking for price to at the very least come down to $15.89. Also, which is also in line with your zones on the Mango Dynamic, right? But I'm looking for that uptrend to stay intact, and I think this wants to go further. I mean, there's not much because we've reached like a level of blue sky breakout. There's not much you can really extrapolate from the chart. You're gonna have to take it, as you go.
Yes, exactly, Kusha. So all you really have now, guys, is your psychological resistances while support starts formulating underneath the trend, right? So at those levels, right? So essentially, I'm keeping it simple, and it's essentially how I built the Mango Dynamic to make my trading simple along these trends, right? Where I don't have to think too much. It's a combination of support and resistance, volatility, market strength, as well as the trend. And as soon as we come down now to the dynamic, along with this horizontal over here at $14.50, Kusha, that's the zone you were referring to, right? That's
Yes.
where I'll be looking to be building a position stronger on. So essentially, I'll be doing one of two things. I'll either, depending on how the market reacts, if it's more aggressive, I'll build with more strength. If it's a little bit more grindy, I'll be building with less strength. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys what I'm looking at. But essentially this zone over here, guys, is going to be a buy opportunity for me. But now I want to take you guys on over to the oscillators really quickly, because remember, we came up against the major psychological resistance of $20, which is very reminiscent, Krisha, to how Chainlink reacted on its upthrust to the $20 mark.
Yes.
Okay, so keep that in mind as well, guys. So we have to watch for this potential trend ending, okay? Because trends don't stay on forever, but you have to remain optimistic while the trend is still your friend. So I'm switching on over to the oscillators right now, Krisha. You can see the stochastics are still pretty freaking strong. Now this, however, is where it gets interesting. On the Mango Mother, on your RSI, you can see that we do have bearish divergence that is showing signs of being triggered, right? It's not the most convincing of triggers, but we did put in a toppy formation over here. We have a toppy candle with the trigger right over here by taking out the low. So this is a top formation on the 4-hour time frame, right? When you see something like this, but the follow through isn't there just yet, you want to zoom out to the higher time frames, which we'll do in a bit. However, the target for this is this zone over here between around $15, right? 1450ish, 1485. So we do have that beginning to bearish divergence beginning to show its face on the 4-hour time frame, but we always want people to put too much emphasis on this, right? If I put too much emphasis on this, I'd be getting out of my position completely, and I'm not doing that, especially on the 4-hour of all time frames. It's too low to put an emphasis on divergence and then lose your position. Krisha, how about you share your thoughts with the rest of the audience on how bad it can be to lose position in the bull market?
Like I was asking me, Krisha, why don't you share your thoughts on that? It's bad. I mean, because it is a bull market. Things are trending to the upside, and if you lose your position on something as small as, not as small, but a divergence, especially a divergence play that is, basically the opposite of the trend. If you lose your position based on that, and also that too on those lower time frames, it can get very messy very fast, because the thing is that you need to understand that if you lose your position, what's playing out right now is, just your mindset, your psychology, because suddenly if things actually manage to take a turn, okay, and it will in a bull market, these things, the turn can happen very, very fast to the upside. And when you lose your position, you're like, oh, damn, I lost my position at say $14. I lost my position at $14, but now price is all the way back up at $15.96.
Exactly.
I'm like, maybe I should wait. I should wait a little more, wait for it to come down back to where I sold at, and then I'll get my position back again. So that all of these thoughts that just that strike you in that moment, and you're not able to think clearly,
and it becomes
and you do not want to
so
be
stressful.
in that. Exactly, it's a stressful position to be in.
Exactly.
Right. So you don't want to fall a victim to that. Not in a bull market.
By the way, guys, on that note, I do want to ask all the seedlings who are watching the videos to go ahead and check out the Mango Lessons section. Ace, one of our seedlings from a month and a half ago or 2 months ago now, posted a beautiful one of our easily is in the top 5 best posts in the mango seed from the seedlings, right? A very, very, very well constructed post on his mindset, his journey thus far, on what he's learned, the mistakes he's made, right, while trying to trade too aggressively, and how it's all he's beginning to have that, oh, now I get it kind of moment, right? It's all beginning to click, and he touched on this, right? He more than touched on this. He really punched this in the freaking gut. He really makes you feel it. So you guys, especially the newer traders, you guys are going to have a lot of value from just reading Ace's posts. Ace, massive props to you, man. Just being able to write that down after reflecting on yourself is huge, but then to be able to share it with the rest of us so that we can all learn from it as well is even freaking bigger. And Krisha, there was a golden sentence in the middle of all of it where he said, I don't want to pull it up over here, but essentially he talked about how not only was it easier, but it was far more stress-free, right? Yes, the trend pulled back on him, but he was able to ride it back up, which is which is what the mango way is all about. Okay, anyways, we digressed. We were talking about how this is a really, really ugly picture on the 4-hour time frame, Krisha. We do have potential bearish divergence that might be triggering and might see continuation towards the downside. But now, let's go ahead. Okay, I'm going to clear out all my indicators and I'm going to switch on over to the 12-hour time frame. Krisha, how does a 12-hour look to you?
Well, let me switch on over to my 12-hour time frame. Give me a second. It looks decent, I guess.
Exactly.
So the thing is that, like, I'm looking at the RSI too now. This is something that, it's giving us like a double confirmation in a way. But honestly, I'm looking at these dive for me personally. Okay, now of course this is not investment advice. For me personally, every bearish divergence, I'm looking at levels in addition to the bearish divergence. I'm like, okay, you know what? This is giving me a signal that it wants to come down. Perhaps I have a better chance to build a good enough position.
Yep.
I can strengthen my existing position. And that's essentially what I look for when I see bearish divergences on these charts, not when the trend is this strong. Now, of course, there are always levels that you can play off of. And if I get invalidated, you know what? No problem. I'll cut my loss and I'll get out. And so right now, I think the 12 hours looking extremely good, Shawn, to answer your question. But I'm looking at the RSI right now. Would you look at that as a bearish divergence?
It is. Good. Well, no, it's not. It is a potential bearish divergence. Good. I was going to say good spot, because this is what you want to look at, right? I wanted to come to exactly this. So, Krisha, what may be forming over here is one of your setups where you look for the double divergence, but we don't have it just yet, right? We do have the potential divergence coming in right from this point over here at around 14th of Jan, right? From there, from that high all the way to around this area over here where we've just put in a potential top-like formation. But it doesn't trigger, Krisha, until we take out the low of around $15.87. If we do that, then I'll be looking for that retest of 1450, which is a good move from the high over here, a good 25% move actually. So that's when I'll be looking for that down move. If we actually take out $15.82, I'll be getting ready to execute accordingly, right? So we have to be a little bit more dynamic while playing the lower to mid time frames. And at the moment, it's a little bit too early for me to say, hey, you know what? I'm just getting out of my position entirely because we're sitting at around $20 and the 4-hour is looking really crappy, right? Yes, the 4-hour may see follow through towards the downside and trigger the 12-hour bearish divergence, but it's not enough for me personally to lose out on the position that I was able to accumulate in this zone over here. Because remember, guys, one of the biggest things about the bull market is being able to catch those big trending plays. Now, we don't know whether this is going to trend or not, but if it does, I want to be part of it. And that's a trade I am personally making. I'm like, okay, I'm using my profits to my advantage to stay in the trend for as long as possible until invalidated. Yes, there are going to be uncomfortable moments, right? Yes, there are times where I'm going to be risking giving up profits, but hey, I am making the trade where I'm willing to risk profits in order to catch the bigger win. And Krisha, I'm going to end off this with that beautiful quote we love reminding all the Mongolians over here, is that amateurs go broke by not taking their losses. Professionals go broke by taking profits. I'll let that sit with you guys before we move on to the next chart. Any final thoughts, Krisha, before we move on?
No, that's it. And I like the way you ended this. Okay. It's important. A lot of good trading wisdom there.
All right, this was supposed to be a quick video, but hey, we always miserably fail at our quick videos. Okay, so I'm going to pull on Discord now, Krisha. We're going to go through the rest of them really quickly. I'm pulling up my Discord just to get, what were we supposed to look at? I believe it was LTC. Oh, no, Uni. Uni was next, right? Uni opportunity right over here. So we first posted the Uni opportunity trade all the way back in, when was this? I think Jan 7th. Yeah, I think it was Jan 7th. So essentially we're looking at this horizontal structure over here, Krisha. I'm not sure, you can't see my screen right now, but they can. So we're looking at around $5.18 as a major level, and we did take a position of that one. I'm going to go ahead and just minimize this for a second now and pull up the charts. Okay, so Uni, I believe I have it over here. Okay, yeah. So yeah, Uni did really, really well. It did break past our next resistance zone 2 at around $6.50, retested that area, and now it has done what I was looking for to take out this high over here at around $8.65. We are currently using that candle close on the daily, at the very least the daily, as resistance, but we haven't closed that just yet. Krisha, what are your quick thoughts on the daily when looking at Uni USDT?
I'm so bullish on this chart.
Really, eh?
This is such an amazing chart, Shawn. This is an absolutely amazing chart. So, and just like Dot that we just went over, it's got, I feel like it's got a similar sort of setup, and we saw like, you know, very, very similar price action even on Uni, even in terms of that dump that we got back on 11th of Jan.
Yep.
Notice how it took out the wick low, only for it, you know, it to come back up. Although Dot did have a much more bullish reaction to that. However, Uni is trending on something lower. As far as the daily is concerned, Shawn, it's looking bloody bullish.
Yep.
Like I have no, you know, no opinion. I mean, this too has reached. Has it? Is it on a blue sky breakout? Yeah,
I
I think
believe
we're
so.
teasing it. I think we're definitely teasing blue sky breakout right now for Uni USDT. But I'm sorry, you asked me my thoughts about the daily time frame, right?
Yeah, yeah,
I'm just making sure. Yeah, so
yeah,
I mean the daily looks great. Daily
yeah.
looks freaking phenomenal.
So, again, now something that breaks out now into the daily. Once you have your impulsive move on the daily time frame, it's fair to be drilling down and looking at the lower time frame to get a clue as to what may be coming next. And now I'm looking at the 4-hour time frame. We are putting in a potential bull flag over here, Krisha, on the 4-hour, and any if we even wick above $9.41, I think we're going to be testing that $10 psychological resistance. So this, I'm really liking this. For a quick update for the rest of you who have any queries on Uni, these are my thoughts. I'm just being patient on this one. I don't know when the impulsive next leg will come, but I'm just being patient. What are your thoughts on the 4-hour, Krisha?
It's okay. So, like, I'm actually so, okay. I know. Like, I can get very super moon girl like during these kind of cycles, but I'm absolutely in awe of this trend right now. I really, really like this Uni chart. So, as far as the 4 hour is concerned, I mean that uptrend is still very much intact, right? At the very least, I mean we're teasing some sort of you know, downside on this, although I feel like it'll be more of a build a position as opposed to sell the position. So I'll that's what I'm going to be gunning for. Now we could see, you know, test of $8.13 and possibly even coming all the way down to the 4 hour 21 EMA. But I think these are all opportunities. What are your thoughts on the 4 hour, Shawn?
So, what the 4-hour taking out the low of around $7.91 is going to give an opportunity, just like you mentioned, down on over to that zone at around $7. I want to quickly pull up the Discord again. I want to show you guys how I keep track of key levels, right? So especially when you're trading multiple markets. When you're trading multiple markets, it's going to be helpful for some of you to probably do this as well. I'm just going to pull it up quickly. I think you guys can see it. Okay, cool. So look at what I said, guys. I said blah 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 blah, looking good, blah blah blah, but beautiful clean bull flag break under major resistance, clearing $7 will be really, really nice. So when you use that, okay, now you guys may have your own trading journal where you're noting all of these sentences down for yourselves, right? When you use that kind of language where you say, okay, if we clear $7, it's going to be really nice, what does that really mean? It means that once we go up to higher levels and we are past $7, we're like 9 and 10 like we are currently, that $7 level is still important. That $7 level now can be used as a support level, because when you're looking for it to flip as resistance, when it does come down the next time, even though it trends on the 4-hour and that level may not be a trend level on the 4-hour time frame, that level will still be an opportunity, right? So okay, when we were looking at this, yes, we were still at the $6, $5 mark, but now, right, we are all the way at the, let me pull up the chart again, all the way sitting at almost $9, right? So people tend to forget those key levels underneath and they get too bullish on the, and that's fair, right? Especially if the trend is aggressive. That's fair to be building a position, but do it with the idea in mind that that level at $7 may come, and you have to be ready for that opportunity and not feel too like shocked by it, right? So you're always making that trade every time you're building a position or at the high. Let's say I'm building a position, Kusha, at around $8, right? I want to add. I'm keeping in mind that I am making the trade where I am saying I'm adding here at $8, knowing full well that I may get the retest at $7 and I may not have as much to allocate at around $7. And that is a trade you're making by building a position over here on this bull flag. So know that. I'm not saying it's bad, but just know that. Alright, so now we're going to go ahead and cover our last chart, Krisha, and that is essentially going to be LTC. And this is a really, really interesting one. Krisha, I'm looking at the weekly time frame on LTC. What are your thoughts thus far?
For LTC, I mean, it's still looking, decent. It's just it's just that now it's beginning to look like opportunity cost with everything else running, right?
Well
So,
said.
I mean, I can't, you can't really say, like, just through a pure technical standpoint, this uptrend is still intact. And until and unless, say, on the weekly, we actually lose this region here at around $145.85, I will not be looking at this through a bearish lens. So that's essentially what I'll be looking for LTC to defend on tomorrow's weekly close.
Yep. So, I did take a position on LTC at around $150, and I'm currently sitting in the red for that one. And quite honestly, this is, like you said, is beginning to look like opportunity cost, and I will be looking to, or rather considering exiting this position as soon as I see opportunity that is more appetizing elsewhere, because I am not liking, or rather LTC is not behaving the way I did expect it to after it did break this level over here at around 144ish, right? So like you said, Kusha, as long as we're living above that level, you can't get bearish on this. And in fact, this might be a really good opportunity for people who are willing to be patient. But I already have 3 big trades that are in the hey, let's be patient, let's be in the patient category, right? We have Chainlink that recently did really, really fantastic. We were rewarded for our patience. Ethereum that we've been building since around $300. And hey, of course, Bitcoin, which is the biggest one thus far. But when it comes to LTC, the position size I have doesn't warrant being too patient with it, so I'll be looking to exit this one, and depending on the exit I get, it's likely going to be, well, not likely, it is going to be a loss no matter how I cut it, right? So let's say LTC closes, has a nice up move in the next day or so, and it gets around to $151. In that case, I won't have a nominal loss because I'll be exiting at around break-even dollar value. However, there was opportunity cost loss there, Krisha, where I could have allocated LTC to so many different other opportunities that I was looking at, and I did not, right? I allocated it to Litecoin. I could have even, for example, added more to my Chainlink position. I could have added more to Ethereum. There was so much more I could have done. I could have added more. I could have gotten early on DOT. There's so much. But we got into LTC. In a bull market, opportunity cost should always be kept in mind. And you don't let it bother you, but you keeping it in mind allows you from, or rather prevents you from getting trapped into that, hey, I've been in this for so long, I'm just going to stay in, and the worst thing that could happen now is if I exit and it pumps on me. And you know what, that may happen. I may end up exiting this and it may pump just then, but again, I am making that mindset trade-off. I'm like, okay, that's it. If it pumps, whatever, I don't care. I'm making this trade where I am moving it from this asset to another asset. As to which asset, I don't know just yet. I'll be watching. I'll be keeping a keen eye. I'm not even sure I am exiting, but I'm mentally fully prepared now to take the loss on this trade and move on.
Yeah. And see, it's these kind of lessons, these kind of experiences that you guys can learn too. Okay, so don't get too fixated on certain trades. Just, especially in a bull market where it's just opportunity cost everywhere if you're too distracted on one trade. And you do not want to be in that position. And the thing is that I have been there, guys. I was there in that last bull market and it costed me dearly. Okay, so do not fixate. Just take a step back, hit that reset button in your head, in your soul, in your mind, everywhere, and get back in, start a fresh slate.
Exactly. So with that, I'll just talk about potential levels that LTC could get to. It could honestly get all the way up to $225, but it needs to first clear the weekly level at around 172. It almost did that last week, the week prior to this one, where we took out the high of this zone over here at around 181. We failed to close the candle, right? Which is why I always emphasize on candle closes first. And even though the high was taken out, that got me a little excited, but hey, did not get the candle close and saw the dump right after, still holding key levels. Like Krisha said, the trend is still up, and LTC is the kind of coin that will wear your patience out and eventually have that move. But during that interim, you have to make the trade-off. Do I want to sit and miss out on opportunity, or do I want to be part of the LTC train? But hey, go on, Krisha.
Sorry, Shawn. Before we wrap up the LTC analysis, do you want to give them a the zone that you're looking at as support on the weekly time frame, because we do close the weekly candle tomorrow. Now, I feel like when it comes to candle body closes on those higher time frames, I think those are like they're pretty significant. They're pretty important. So, what is the region of support that you are looking for LTC to hold if this has to show signs of revival here? Okay, I'm not going to say revival. Revival sounds too dire in a very in a bullish trend. But okay, so what zone are you looking for LTC to hold for us, for it to give us some sort of confirmation that it may want to start trudging up?
So at worst case scenario, if it loses 137, that's not going to look good to me at all. Okay, for LTC to show strength, I wanted to actually hold 145, these wick highs over here. I want to see buyers step in and be like, hey, this is a really, really good zone. I'm getting to buy along these wick highs over here. Definitely, I'm taking this trade. If we don't see that, it just shows me that the market participation for continuation on this is not as powerful, right? I want to see buyers feel like, damn, this is a value buy. Okay, so that's where I'm looking for LTC to hold, essentially 137 to 145. It is a weekly time frame zone, so it is the range is high.
And boom. Okay, now that's essentially what I have on my chart as well.
Perfect. All right, guys, so I hope this video was helpful for you guys. We're going to try and do more of these frequently, where we do updates on trade setups that we have taken, trade setups that we are taking, and yeah, we'll give you guys the wins, the losses, everything. So with that, guys, get ready for the stream later today. The stream will be coming out right after this video. We'll be going live, so join Krisha and me. We'll be answering questions, and hey, just sitting back, enjoying the weekend, looking at the charts, doing it the mango way, doing it the stress-free way. So until then, Krisha, any final words?
No, that's all. Trade safely, trade stress-free, trade the mango way, trade the easy way, guys.
Ciao.
Ciao.